Carolyn Dube here. Ever have one of those days where you have about 50 things to do, time to do about 20 of them, and enough energy to do about 3 of them? Well, I was having one of those days, and those are the days that I kind of call my I can't days, because that's what seems to run through my head. I can't get it all done. I can't do this. I can't do that. And when I start getting into the I can't mode, that is when the voice in my head gets really loud and not in a good, helpful way. Well, what I found is that what I need to do on those days is do even more things to recharge me, because I've got to find a way to get all that stuff done. So what do? I turn to art, because a little art play does so much to energize my soul and put everything back in perspective for me and quiet that voice that's frankly being very annoying in my head. There were 3 big things that voice was trying to convince me of that frankly wasn't true, and I'm going to share with you how I actually worked through that and responded to it in this video as I play. Well, big I can't number 1 is I can't spare the time. And you know what? I know that's ridiculous, because if I don't spare the time to keep myself in a good place, I don't have anything to give to help others or to take care of my to-do list. So I am going to spare just a few minutes, not a lot of time, but just a few minutes that will absolutely loosen things up in my soul. And what I did is I just grabbed some cheap oil pastels, some plain paper, and I am drawing some very loose, not very well thought out figures of people. Nothing fancy and not a lot of thought, because it's all about just starting to do something. Now, drawing with the oil pastels was fun, but I want to get a little bit messier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some hand cream on that's called barrier cream, and that's going to help make washing the paint off my hands a little bit easier. Got that stuff on my hands, so now I can get lots of paint on my fingers, and instead of using oil pastels to color stuff in, I can color stuff in with paint. Well, about this time, there's that nagging voice in my head saying to me, I can't keep doing this because I don't have the best supplies for it. And you know what? That is just so beyond ridiculous that the voice is even trying to say that in my head. I own so many different supplies. I can make do with whatever I've got. So yeah, busted on that one, crazy voice in the head. I've got plenty of stuff I can use, even if it's not the perfect color that I had in my mind, or it's not the perfect this or that. It's still going to get the job done for my play today. Well, I'm starting to feel better. I'm shaking off some of the stress. The art's feeling good. I'm making a mess. I've got paint on my fingers. There's stuff happening on the paper. I'm having a good time. And that's when the voice decides it's got to really bring out the big gun. And what's the biggest gun that it can hit me with? I can't, because it will look terrible. I mean, look at this. It looks like a little kid drew it. It's stick figures. Do these colors really even go together? All those kind of things are sort of running around in my head. And because I let myself start playing, I had that momentum going. And that's what carried me through some of what that inner voice thought was going to be the hardest thing for me to take was actually not that big a deal, because I'm just having too much fun playing and enjoying. So it can kind of prattle on and say whatever it wants in my head, and I'm just going to keep on having fun. Want more ways to quiet that voice? I've got a free downloadable video and PDF waiting for you called 3 Ways to Thwart the Inner Critic over on my blog at acolorfuljourney.com as a thank you for signing up for my newsletter. And of course, you can see more of my videos here on YouTube. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and you'll never miss a new one. Well, now I have a favor to ask of you. If you've enjoyed this video, I would love it if you gave it a thumbs up here on YouTube. And of course, if you know of someone that you think would enjoy this, I'd love it if you shared it with them. Well, letting myself play for just a few minutes here on this piece of paper has done its job. Instead of feeling so I can't-ish about things, now I've got much more of an I can feeling. So as I finish this up, I am now going to go and tackle that responsible to-do list from my grown-up life and get all that stuff out of the way so I can then have some more time to play. Well, thanks for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and thanks for being a part of this colorful journey.